hoaxes, and since I'm still you guys weirdly loved my ranking of FNAF hoaxes, and since I'm still going through my 147th FNAF phase, I figured I'd keep the suffering going by ranking every single rare screen and Easter egg in the franchise. Well, sorta. I'm only ranking the rare screens and Easter eggs from FNAF 1 through 4, since those are the games I actually finished, and also UCN. And let's be honest, the other 3 point-and-click games don't really have that many Easter eggs anyways. Oh, and yeah, I have a new system here. Nightmare Fuel, Disturbing but Cool, Creepy, What Did I Just See, Goofy, and Scott Y. And of course, we're not just ranking them, we're explaining them too. Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's start things off with one of the most infamous Easter eggs in the franchise. Celebrate Poster Honk. Okay, kicking things off light, we've got the classic honk. If you click Freddy's nose on the Celebrate poster in the office, it makes a honk sound. But, you know, that's the whole thing. But honestly, it's pretty iconic. It became a staple in basically every FNAF game after this. It's goofy, it's pretty harmless, and it's one of the few things in FNAF 1 that doesn't make you like want to shit yourself. It's also one of the first Easter eggs most people discover by accident. I think this rightfully goes in Goofy tier, but don't get me wrong, this is very iconic and legendary. I'm just also ranking these on how creepy they are, kinda. The visual hallucinations. Okay, so this is one of the most iconic and unsettling rare events in the original FNAF. You're just chilling, maybe checking cameras, and suddenly, bam, the screen flashes "It's me" along with creepy, glitched out close-ups of Freddy with bloodshot human eyes, and Bonnie with soulless black pits for eyes. Sometimes Bonnie's eyes even look slightly off-center, like he's not just staring at you, but through you. And the sound, it's distorted groaning or garbled radio noise. It's not a jump scare, it's something worse. It's like a slow burn psychological hit that plays on paranoia. This isn't a mechanic or a warning, it's just there to mess with you, and it's scripted to happen during Golden Freddy appearances too, which only adds to the fear factor. I'm gonna put it in Nightmare Fuel. Like, this is the kind of Easter egg that defines FNAF. It's subtle, it's creepy, and it leaves an impact. Straight to the top. Show stage Freddy stare. So, you flip up the monitor, expecting the usual gang just chilling on the stage, and instead, you're greeted with this. Freddy standing alone, half lit, with those black soulless eyes and tiny growing pupils. It only happens if he's the last one left on stage, and even then there's just a 10% chance of it showing. It's subtle but pretty effective, and the way the light frames his face while the background fades into nothing makes this one of the most eerie visuals in the game. And you know what's even better? It can happen alongside other creepy stuff like the Pirate Cove graffiti and the Bonnie close-up, stacking the dread, and we'll be getting to those later too. So I'm gonna put it in disturbing but cool. It's not as legendary as the hallucinations or Golden Freddy, but the vibe here is immaculate. It is quiet horror done right. Pirate Cove, it's the graffiti. So you check on Pirate Cove expecting Foxy to be gone, but instead of the usual out of order sign, you get this ominous little message, "It's me," scrawled in creepy black marker. It only pops up after Foxy's already left the cove, and the chance of seeing it is like 1 in 10 when you pull up the camera. It's subtle, it's weird, and it makes you feel like you're being watched. Obviously you are. It's creepy, yeah, it's very cool and atmospheric, but it's just a sign, so if you blink you miss it. Still, bonus points for how it contributes to that overarching "you're not alone" vibe in FNAF 1. West Hall corner posters. This one's 2 Easter eggs in one, and both are iconic. First, there's a 1 in 100 chance the regular "Let's Party" poster in the West Hall corner turns into an image of Freddy literally ripping off his own head, which is pretty creepy already. But then there's the real prize. An ultra rare 1 in 32,768 chance every second for that poster to turn into a close-up of Golden Freddy's face. If that happens, a child's laugh plays. and when you drop the monitor, Golden Freddy is in your office, ready to crash your whole game. The combo of rarity, visuals, and the surprise game-breaking scare makes this one of the most memorable moments in the original FNAF. The Golden Freddy face alone has probably traumatized thousands of kids. It's mysterious and it's very terrifying. It's one of the biggest early hints that FNAF was way deeper than just jump scares. I'm putting the Freddy one in creepy and the Golden Freddy one in disturbing but cool. Okay, now these posters. So this one's genuinely creepy in a way that sneaks up on you. There's a 1 in 100 chance when pulling up the monitor that the innocent kid drawn posters in the East Hall change to disturbing child faces. And on rare occasions they just disappear entirely and are replaced with graffiti that reads, "It's me." The visuals feel directly inspired by the scream, and it's really effective. There's no animation or sound to it, but the contrast between the original posters and these messed up ones hits hard, especially if you weren't expecting it. It's simple but very chilling, and plays into the child murder lore without having to say a word. Office metal door pounding. Now this one's just unsettling in the weirdest way possible. At random intervals, specifically a 1 in 50 chance every 10 seconds, you might hear loud metal pounding sounds in the distance. There's no visual tied to it, nothing shows up, and it can happen even while you're checking the monitor. It just happens. And you're just left sitting there like, should I be worried? What makes this even creepier is that Scott himself has never clarified what causes the sound. When asked about it during a doggo stream, he just dodged it with a cheeky, could be anything answer, which is, classic Scott. Which I think that actually works in the Easter egg's favor. It turns a simple sound into a lingering mystery that people still speculate about. Some think it's Foxy, others think it's a remnant of unused content. But because it's audio only and super easy to miss, it's not as iconic as the visual ones. Still, for what it is, I'll give this a solid "what did I just see?" Even though really it's a "what did I just hear?" Circus music. This one's simple but surprisingly eerie. Every 5 seconds, there's a 1 in 30 chance that you will hear a short little circus organ tune play in the background. That's it, just unsettling carnival music while you're already paranoid about your power meter. What makes it effective is how out of place it feels. You're alone in the dark, hearing garbled phone messages and animatronic footsteps, and then circus music? It adds a weirdly surreal, almost mocking vibe to the atmosphere. The game is literally laughing at you. Still, it is background noise and no deeper lore or iconic visual tied to it. So while it definitely adds to the paranoia, I'm putting it at creepy. It's a fun little ambient scare. Foxy's song. Foxy doesn't just sprint down the hallway, sometimes he actually sings, and you should know this. There's a 1 in 30 chance every 4 seconds that Foxy will hum or sing a little ditty from Pirate Cove, but only if he's chilling behind the curtain and not actively getting ready to attack. It's actually a useful Easter egg gameplay wise. If you hear Foxy's voice, it means he's actually put for now, like a little audio cue to let you know you're not screwed yet. But outside of that, it's also kind of unsettling. It reminds you that these animatronics aren't just robots, they have a weird, creepy personality. I do think this one lands in the goofy tier, cause I mean, just hear this. Post-mortem Golden Freddy. Okay, this one's a deep cut and a nasty one. After you die in FNAF 1, there's a 1 in 10,000 chance that instead of the usual title screen, you'll suddenly get jump scared by the Golden Freddy. No warning and no reason to it, I think, too. It's a total violation of rhythm. You think the game is done and you're relaxing, right? Maybe you're reflecting on like how far you got. And then Golden Freddy blasts your screen. It breaks the usual safe zone of the game over screen, which makes it even more effective. This is nightmare fuel in my opinion. It's rare, but it sticks with you forever if it happens. Ai.Extreme. So this is one of the most infamous input Easter eggs in the game. If you go to custom night and set the animatronic AI levels to 1 for Freddy, 9 for Bonnie, 8 for Chica, and 7 for Foxy, then hit ready, you're immediately jump scared by Golden Freddy.
Was that the bite of 87?
Then the game crashes, if I remember correctly. This wasn't just a random scare either. Scott added this in after rumors started spreading that in 197 would unlock a secret ending or something related to the bite of 87. Instead of feeding the theories, he hit back with a fake out scare. It's just a pretty funny troll. But it's also creepy. It obviously, the visual is kind of creepy and it's iconic and deeply tied to the FNAF mythos. Eyeless Bonnie's scream. This one is straight up unsettling. There's a 1 in 1,000 chance when returning to the title screen that you'll be greeted by an image of Bonnie's face with no eyes, just hollow black sockets. It lingers for about 9.5 seconds before 2 tiny white dots appear, staring right into you. Then it fades into the normal title screen. No sound, just eerie silence, and that's there. It's so quick and rare that some people didn't even believe it was real for years, especially since it mimics the hallucinations you get in-game. But it is real. In my opinion, this is nightmare fuel. There's no jump scare, just dread. And yeah, I can see why Scott had nightmares of Bonnie during development. Hidden developer messages. Okay, so if you brighten the Help Wanted newspaper screen at the very beginning of the game, you'll find a wall of sarcastic, hidden text from Scott Cawthon himself. Stuff like, chances are you won't make it past night 3, and this probably isn't the best choice of a summer job, all sprinkled with a bunch of blah blah blah. It's super meta, and it's kind of mocking the player for even trying, and it breaks the fourth wall in a way only Scott would. A little Easter egg that shows his sense of humor, while low-key warning you about how bad things are about to get. I think it's goofy because it's super stupid, but it's unsettling in that, like, what did I just sign up for kind of way. Okay, I'm saving the best for last for FNAF 1. The backstage stare and Bonnie close-up. So the backstage camera sometimes acts like it's watching you instead of the other way around. There's a 1 in 20 chance that all the animatronic heads in the backstage will turn and straight stare into the camera, if Bonnie's not in the room, obviously. It's unnerving, but very subtle. You guys weirdly love my ranking of FNAF hoaxes, and just eerie silence, and that's there. Fuel. He isn't the best choice of a summer job. A little Easter egg that shows his I just signed up for kind of way. Okay, I'm saving the best for last for FNAF 1. The backstage stare and Bonnie close-up. So the backstage camera sometimes acts like it's watching you instead of the other way around. There's a 1 in 20 chance that all the animatronic heads in the backstage will turn and straight stare into the camera, if Bonnie's not in the room, obviously. It's unnerving, but very subtle. Okay, and if Bonnie is there, there's a separate 1 in 10 chance that he'll do his own little, cute close-up. This frame, in my opinion, is one of the scariest in the whole franchise. I'm putting the heads looking at you in What Did I Just See, and the Bonnie close-up rightfully goes in nightmare fuel. Alright, now FNAF 2 Easter eggs, and there's a lot for this game. So the hidden developer messages. Identical to the first game, surrounding the Help Wanted and Robot Scrapped newspapers are hidden messages from Scott Cawthon, giving taunting advice to the players. It's the same sarcastic wall of blah blah blah, warning you that you probably won't survive the week and you should have just worked retail instead. I'm actually just gonna read this because, yeah. Blah 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 blah. This ad has nothing to do with anything relevant to the game. Blah 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 blah. Chances are you won't make it past night 3. Blah blah. Jackety smackety. Blah blah. This probably isn't the best choice of a summer job, since you most likely won't survive the week. I'd recommend being a cashier, sack boy, or work in a warehouse. Those are all very respectable jobs, and you probably won't be killed doing them. Well, you might, but it would be unlikely. Blah blah. It's a weird little fourth wall break that shows Scott's humor in the middle of all the chaos, because, you know, FNAF 2 is very chaotic. It doesn't really add lore, and it is the second time we get this, and it is goofy, so I am putting it in goofy. Celebrate poster honk. So just like in the first game, if you click on Toy Freddy's nose on the celebrate poster on the left side of the office, it lets out a honk. It's harmless, silly, and kind of comforting in a game where everything else wants you dead. Just a goofy little detail that's stuck around as a tradition. But it is Toy Freddy this time, not classic Cool Freddy, so I'm gonna put this in the bottom tier. Just no elaboration needed. I hate Toy Freddy. JJ. Every time you pull down the camera in FNAF 2, the game rolls a random number out of 1,000. If that number happens to be 9, you'll spot a strange little figure under your desk. A pink and purple recolor of a little boy dubbed JJ. She doesn't move, doesn't attack, and doesn't speak. Just sits there and stares at you. Then vanishes the moment you bring the monitor up again. She's never explained, never acknowledged in game, and became a fan mystery for many years. An Easter egg that feels like it's hiding something darker, even if it probably isn't. It's low-key goofy, it's just a recolor. RWQ, oh my god, Shadow Bonnie. This one's legendary for just how rare and sudden it is. At a 1 in 16,384 chance, RWQ FSFASXC, basically a shadowy toy Bonnie with glowing facial features, can silently appear in the office after you lower the monitor.
Oh my god! What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
He doesn't make a sound, doesn't move, doesn't even kill you with a jump scare. Instead, if you stare at him for more than 4 seconds, the game just closes. There's no warning, it's just a very cold, uncanny moment that feels like a real glitch or corruption. Perfectly fitting for the creepypasta aura that FNAF 2 kinda built up in the community. The name being literal gibberish just adds to the whole mystery too. It is a shadow version of Toy Bonnie, so that drops it a tier or 2. I hate this dude so much, like, only reason I couldn't beat 1020 when I was like 10.
Clench my teeth when he takes so long, man. Honestly, he makes me so angry. I want to kill him. I wonder why they scrapped the animatronics.
It also looks goofy, kinda, so I'm putting it in goofy. We'll get better shadow animatronics later. Paper Buddy. Only on night 7, there's a 1 in 100 chance that one of the weird little paper plate dudes in Party Room 4, known in the community as Paper Buddy, activates with an AI level of 1. From there, every 5 seconds, it has a 1 in 20 chance of moving when the monitor is flipped up. If it does, it'll leave Party Room 4 and reappear standing silently against the far right wall of your office, staring at you. That's all it does. There's obviously no jump scare, like no audio, nothing. Just unsettling, kind of. The funniest part is that it has unique camera stalling and flashlight stunt formulas. For an entity that does absolutely nothing and only appears on a specific night, that is a lot of dedication, not gonna lie. But so, why, Scott? Why did you make the Paper Buddy thing move? Okay. Shadow Freddy. One of the weirdest visual Easter eggs in the game. If RNG blesses you and the random image variable hits anything from 1 to 100 out of 1000, you might catch a glimpse of Shadow Freddy. A weirdly purple, shadowy version of withered Golden Freddy with glowing white eyes and teeth, just sitting there in the parts and service room. He only shows up if no other withered animatronics are present. He doesn't move, he doesn't kill you, and doesn't even seem to acknowledge your existence. He just sits there watching, and then he's gone. In my humble opinion, it's way creepier than Shadow Bonnie, especially considering it's the Golden Freddy slumped over render, which is already creepy as hell in itself, so I'm gonna put it in creepy. Endo02. Sometimes when you put the monitor down, there's a random chance, 1 in 10 if the number is less than 100, and super rare if it's exactly 3, that you'll see Endo02 either chilling in the prize corner or crawling through the left air vent. He doesn't do anything, like he doesn't kill you, he doesn't move, he's just there for the vibes, I guess. Honestly, seeing a random wide-eyed endoskeleton staring right at you through a vent is kind of unsettling, especially back then. But the lack of any impact on gameplay kind of softens the blow, so creepy, I guess. the puppet camera visions. So after the puppet escapes the prize corner, there's a 1 in 50 chance that instead of the normal static on the camera feed, you'll see a semi-transparent image of the puppet's face flash on screen. There are 4 possible images in total, but you'll usually only spot the first 3. The 4th one is way rarer for no explained reason. You only catch these if you're on the right camera and flicking the flashlight fast, so it's very easy to miss. This is classic. The flashes are quick, almost subliminal, and they only happen once the puppet is out and active, which already puts you on edge and gives you basically no time. It's not a jump scare, but it's like a psychological nudge. The fact that one of the 4 is significantly rarer just adds to the paranoia too, like, was that intentional? Does it mean something? I don't know, but disturbing. Eyeless screens. Sometimes after booting up the game or getting a game over, you'll be greeted with a super creepy render of Withered Freddy, Toy Bonnie, or Withered Foxy, with their eyes completely missing. It's not a jump scare or anything that affects gameplay, but the sound of the broken flashlight loop playing while these dead-eyed husks just stare into your soul is seriously unsettling. Each one has a 1 in 1,000 chance of appearing, making them rare and eerie surprises. I'm gonna put this in nightmare fuel, at least for Freddy. I mean, Withered Freddy. And Withered Freddy is one of the creepiest designs in all of FNAF in my opinion. I guess disturbing for Foxy, and I guess creepy for Toy Bonnie. There's very creepy visuals, unsettling sounds, and like there's serial warning too. It's classic FNAF. Death minigames. Alright, here we go, the real horror. After a jump scare in FNAF 2, there's a 10% chance you'll be thrown into one of these infamous 8-bit minigames. These aren't just little distractions, these are lore bombs. Save them, you know. Take care to the children, casually show some murder outside the pizzeria. Give gifts, give life, basically reveals how the animatronics got possessed. And Foxy Go 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 gives a chilling glimpse into Foxy's connection to a child's death. Originally, they were only supposed to trigger if you died to the puppet, which makes sense given what the puppet represents. It made it not just about surviving anymore, but about like uncovering the gruesome truth underneath the franchise or whatever. So disturbing but cool. These minigames are burned into every fan's memory. They gave the franchise its first real taste of cryptic storytelling and child murder in 8-bit. But still, William Afton Save Them, you can't scream. This one is genuinely unsettling. You're already in a creepy minigame where everything feels off, and then suddenly this purple menace bolts towards you with zero warning. You don't even get a jump scare, but just this eerie blue glitch screen that spits "you can't" at you. It's so blunt and hopeless that it hits hard. Oh, it's also 1 in 100 chance of happening. So it's classic FNAF. I'm gonna put it in creepy. Yeah. Alright, let's move on to FNAF 3. Another Freddy poster honk. So the tradition lives on. Despite FNAF 3 being the most depressing and decayed game of the original trilogy, Scott still left in this dumb little honk. You're in a haunted, rotting building filled with hallucinations, a rotting Springtrap crawling towards you, and yet you can still just reach over and give Freddy's nose a boop. It's stupid, it's perfect. It's the last bit of serotonin you get before everything goes to hell. Goofy. Mr. Cupcake. So imagine you're playing FNAF 3 and you're minding your business, struggling to reboot audio for the 10th time, and suddenly Mr. Cupcake is on your desk. It's a 1 in 10,000 chance, and it doesn't do anything. It just stares at you with those soulless, decaying eyes like it knows every mistake you've ever made. It doesn't jump scare you, like, it doesn't even move, obviously, it's a cupcake. The fact that it silently vanishes the moment you touch the maintenance panel again is kind of unsettling. It's still a cupcake, so, like, Scott, why? Paper Freddy and Paper Bonnie. So Paper Freddy and Paper Bonnie are two weirdly eerie callbacks to FNAF 2 hidden in the third game. There's a 1 in 10,000 chance each of them will appear in the office under very specific conditions. Paper Freddy can randomly spawn on the right wall after using the maintenance panel, while Paper Bonnie might appear on the left wall after pulling up the monitor. They don't move, react, or Like, they do the same thing. They just obviously like silently hang there. Their presence doesn't impact gameplay at all, and they disappear once you use the panel or monitor again. So they're creepy low-key because it is like out of place, but they don't do anything. Still, their randomness and weird nostalgic placement makes them feel wrong in a cool way. Shadow Freddy. Just like in FNAF 2, Shadow Freddy makes another eerie cameo, this time in your office, chilling silently in the shadows. There's a 1 in 10,000 chance of him appearing when you use the monitor, and when he does, he's barely visible. No glowing eyes this time, just that grimy gray grin peeking through the darkness. He doesn't do anything and disappears the next time you check the monitor. He's more of a spooky nod to returning fans than anything else. Creepy, but it's whatever. He's unsettling, sure, but there's literally nothing. He's just vibing again. Cam 04 Mr. Cupcake drawings. In FNAF 3, there's another small but oddly memorable Easter egg involving Mr. Cupcake. When checking Cam 4, there's a 1 in 100 chance that a drawing of Mr. Cupcake will randomly appear in place of the usual Toy Bonnie drawing. But that's not all. There's even a rarer 1 in 10,000 chance that the cupcake drawing will show up with gold frosting instead. Neither variant sticks around, they disappear as soon as you lower the monitor. Plus, they won't appear if Springtrap is currently in the room. They don't do anything, just pure background weirdness. But they are the kind of blink and you miss a detail that makes replaying the game kind of fun. It's still goofy, but the odds are pretty funny, and the golden one is very rare. And yeah, they're just drawings. Springtrap screens. The Springtrap screens. Okay, yeah, so this is the one where it stops being goofy and suddenly turns grim. There's a rare chance, 1 in 1,000, of seeing these static, close-up images of Springtrap on your screen. And it's basically a jump scare for lore nerds. Basically, if you squint a little, or if your screen brightness is way up, you can clearly make out William Afton's rotting corpse inside the suit. Especially the third one. It's just very gross. Like, oh my god. It's gross, morbid, and one of the earliest times the series straight up showed the real consequences of the Springlock failure. And yeah, the audio that plays... lovely. Very lovely. Nightmare feel. But it's subtle, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's so iconic. Anim Dude map. This one's honestly hilarious. If you take the camera map from FNAF 3, flip it upside down, and squint a bit, you'll see something kind of familiar. It looks like Anim Dude. Scott Cawthon's pixelated little self OC. Or like self-insert character, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, the guy from FNAF World and the Scott websites. Is it intentional? Probably not, but hiding your own avatar in a twisted, burnt down horror attraction, it's really on brand for Scott, I feel like. So goofy. Brighton Nightmare Newspaper. You know that It Burns newspaper screen from FNAF 3? You know, the one that shows up after the building goes up in flames. Yeah, if you brighten it up, there's a creepy little surprise tucked behind the Freddy figurine. Part of Springtrap's head. It's rotated and kind of hidden in the shadows, like a ghostly I'm still here, and I always come back. Yeah. This is one of those hidden details you'll never notice casually, but once you see it, it does add an extra layer of unease. Like maybe Springtrap didn't really burn with the place. Maybe he escaped. Did he? I guess we'll never know. I'm gonna put it in creepy. It's subtle and plays perfectly into Springtrap's vibe. Classic hidden detail horror. Hidden developer messages. This one's kind of wholesome. If you brighten the edges of the coming soon or It Burns newspaper screens in FNAF 3, you'll find a bunch of hidden messages from Scott Cawthon himself. Stuff like how Bonnie haunted his sleep, how he almost made a sequel to the Desolate Hope instead of FNAF, and how the names Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy were just placeholders at first. It's like reading secret dev diary entries baked into the game. Some of them are funny, others deeply personal, and a few are kind of unnerving. Like the one where Scott dreamed about Bonnie being in the hallway and like couldn't get the door open. That's straight out of a horror story. Alright, I'm gonna put this in the final tier. This one's like not scary in the traditional way, but it is kind of like intimate, somewhat personal. But this was supposed to be like the serious grand finale of the series, so yeah. Finally, we move on to FNAF 4. Okay, the honking sound. You already know how this goes. This is a tradition at this point, so in FNAF 4, if you click Freddy's plushy nose on the bed, it gives off that classic, goofy little honk. It's exactly the same sound from the earlier games. It's almost like Scott was trying to throw you a single bone in a game that's otherwise filled with dread and pitch black atmosphere. But it's like funny because you've got these like twisted nightmare versions of Freddy trying to eat you alive. And then there's this adorable plush just sitting there honking. It's goofy, it's funny, nostalgic, and weirdly comforting. But in the context of FNAF 4's tone, it feels wrong, so I'm gonna put it in the last tier. Yeah. Bedside items. This one is subtle, and that's exactly why it's so eerie. But there's a small chance, 1 in 100, that something new will appear on the table next to your bed. A vase of flowers, a pill bottle, or an IV drip. They're not flashy or loud, and they don't trigger jump scares, but they say a lot without saying anything. These aren't just background props, they are obviously personal and add to the lore a little bit, but I'm not gonna get into all that. I mean, we all know you're a kid dying in a spooky bedroom. It's another, like, quiet nudge towards the tragic theory that the entire game takes place in a coma dream or during a prolonged hospitalization after Light of 83. It's kinda creepy knowing the context after you watch all the thousands of game theory videos on it, but like there's no like other creepy aspect. It's just 3 innocent little items, so I'm gonna put it in what did I just see. If I saw these in 2015 while playing the game, I wouldn't have thought much of it. Nightmare Foxy. So this one's for all the campers out there. In FNAF 4, if you try to cheese the game by staring at the bed for too long, exactly 15 seconds, Nightmare Foxy shows up to humble you with a game over, even if he shouldn't be active on that night. He straight up breaks the rules just to punish your strategy. I mean, he does that in every game. Foxy just does whatever he wants. Foxy's basically saying like, nice try, but no. You thought you found a safe spot? Nope. He'll kill you even in modes when he's supposed to be dormant, like Night 1 or during the nightmare fights. It's a very meta jump scare, and it's scary, I guess, the first time, but after it's kind of hilarious. Still knowing you have no safe zone or whatever, even when he's not supposed to be there, I'm gonna put it in what did I just see. Phone Guy's messages. This one's easy to miss, but once you notice it, it's creepy as hell. In FNAF 4, there's a rare background audio Easter egg where you'll hear a distorted, reversed, low-pitched version of Phone Guy's Night 1 call from the first game. It's not even the full call, it just plays in broken little chunks, either quietly or half loud, before it cuts out entirely. Yeah, what did I just hear? Yeah, like, it's a neat audio trick and atmospheric, but it doesn't do much unless you're, like, really listening. Which, to be fair, you do a lot of that in FNAF 4, but still. Rare sounds. So during the night segments of FNAF 4, there's a 1 in 30 chance you'll hear one of 3 weird, out-of-place background sounds. A distorted demonic laugh, some deep creepy breathing, or randomly a dog barking. And none of them really tied directly to the gameplay mechanics or jump scares. They're just there. The demonic laugh sounds like it could be Nightmare Fredbear or Nightmare, but it's not exactly the same. The breathing is super unsettling if you're wearing headphones, and the dog bark just feels wrong, but like in the best way. Maybe that's Sparky, who knows. These sounds don't appear on every playthrough, so if you catch them, it feels like you've uncovered something you weren't meant to hear. I'm gonna put in creepy. It's a pretty creepy background noise that helps sell the game's dreamlike dread. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in creepy. Developer photos. Yeah, so if you look closely at the photos decorating the walls in FNAF 4, especially in the bedroom and hallway scenes, you'll notice they're not just random filler textures. They're actually real photos taken by Scott Cawthon himself. One shows a mountain range he photographed back when he was a truck driver in West Texas. Another is of a snowman he and his sons built. And there's even a shot of a mockingbird his family nursed. I don't even have a tier for this, I'm gonna just put it in the last one, honestly. Finally, the minigame Easter eggs. So these ones are pretty well known, I think. William Afton can be seen suiting a worker up if you walk during the post-night 2 minigame, and Fredbear and Friends TV show appears if you press enter in front of the Crying Child's TV in the post-night 3 minigame. The William Afton one is kinda creepy, so yeah. And the Fredbear show is cool to think about. I'm gonna put it in here. Finally, I'm gonna do the other game that has a couple Easter eggs, which is UCN. First, the most popular one, the one you should not have killed face. This is the image. A grainy, unsettling, borderline cursed face of a child, which, fun fact, is Scott's son, that randomly appears during Ultimate Custom Night. It's whispered about by animatronics like Nightmare Freddy and Jack O'Chica, and it can flash after game over